Okay, so I put this video together using real-time creating pink dogwood flowers. And if you sit through this whole video, you are a trooper. All right, guys, stay tuned. Let's get started.
With the greatest respect, that's hardly fair.
It is cold out tonight, so I thought I'll sip on some chocolate, hot chocolate mint tea and work on some wire with you guys. So hi, Carol here, artist of Only Trees, and I'm still thinking spring. All right, so I have two 22 gauge pink and one 24 gauge gold strands of wire, 24 inches long. And guess what I'm gonna do? Yeah, I think, if you're watching these videos, you uh, probably know I am going to make some loops. So just in case you haven't seen any of those prior videos, or you're just tuning in to see what this channel is all about, when I create wire trees, most of the time when I'm prepping for trees, I create loops, and then out of the loops, I create different things to put onto my wire trees. So here I am, 3 pieces of wire, 24 inches long. I'm using two 22 gauge pink and one 24 gauge gold, and I'm making loops. These loops are about 3/4 of an inches in diameter when I'm done twisting them. And I do 3 half turns on each loop to make 2 loops side by side, and then 3 half turns to connect the loops together. All right, and that's what I'm getting. So on 24 inches of wire, I can get 5 sets of 2 loops, and that will give me a total of 10 flowers. And this might be a long, boring video, but I figured, you're here, I guess, for some kind of interest. So I'll just create these in real time so you can see what I'm doing, and also give you an idea of the time it takes for prepping the flowers to create these trees. All right, so I have 3 sets so far. All right, I'm gonna put this one up in the camera, see if you can get an idea. So here I am. I've got a little bit of a spacer in here. My thumb is my spacer. Creating that loop, twisting 3 half turns, locks that one loop, making another loop right next to the one that I just created, as much as about the same size as possible, twisting 3 half turns, 2, 3, and then locking the 2 loops in place. 1, 2, 3. That gives me 4 sets And I have room just enough for another set of loops. Thumb in the middle. I have a little bit of a space there, making my loop. 3 half turns. Another loop right next to it. So what do you guys do? Do you make loops or not? What is it that you use to create your branches on your wire trees? What is your fancy? I guess maybe that's a good way to. Okay, so now I have 5 sets, 2 loops each. All right. Now I am going to separate these loops because I'm going to be making flowers out of these. I am making sure that I've got a pink loop on this side, pink loop on the other side with the gold loop in the center. And do that all the way down the line. I just wanted to make sure after all of this talking and twisting wire that my camera was on. Okay. I've done that before. All right. So this is in real time. This is what it takes for me just to create one strand of flowers. And I do this every single day, and it takes 60 of these sets for me to create one tree. So there's a lot of prepping here. All right, almost done. Making sure that that gold one is in the center. Down to the last 2 loops. Sometimes the wire, when I twist it, it doesn't always work out that the pink gets on the outside really nice, and you have to kind of maneuver the wire so you can get that gold in the center. So kind of looks messy right now, but again, if I wasn't doing this in front of you here today, that I would be having it right down on my lap, so it would be a little bit easier. Now, if I did not place 2, yep, okay, right here they are. That wasn't the right set of, I have these needle nose pliers by my side all the time, but to create these flowers, I do have a different set of needle nose pliers, and you can see that these are very pointed needle nose pliers. So I'm going into now the center of the gold loop here, okay? And I'm sure that you've seen me do this on other videos, but I have this in the center, and I'm taking this loop and I'm going to just keep turning it inward and get a nice, very small as I can, little center for my flower. All right. So are you guys doing flowers, or is it the pine trees that you guys are enjoy making? I mean, I did put a parted, no, that's not the right word, a set of videos together to show you how to, or how I, okay, as one of many, many different artists to do the pine tree that I create and the blue spruce trees that I create. But this is going to be a pink dogwood. And I'm just taking those needle nose pliers very carefully, getting that center of the flower created. And sometimes when the loop is just a little bit too big, you don't quite have the control you want. So you just have to take it nice and slow, get it in there, and learn how far you can take your wire by twisting it so that it does not break off. All right, like this loop is a little bit big, but if I take my time and I'm pushing inward as I'm twisting the wire, and that one I'm going to crimp a little bit because it's just not quite small enough for me. I like to make those centers nice and small. There, that's pretty good. All right, and here we go for one more. Getting it right in there. All right, last one. And all right, those centers, I'm going to crimp this one down just a little bit too. Yes, okay, so there you go. Now, that is in real time so far. All right, and going in now on the petals, okay? So for the petals, I go on the outside. Let me see which is going to be easier for you to see. Focusing it in. All right. I'm taking the outside of the loop. Okay. All right, the outside of the loop. And I'm going to push inward, okay? I'm holding like in where the center of the flower is going to be, holding it, and I'm pushing inward with a little bit of twist in my hand, and it gives me those petals by crimping, okay? And then the next one, very gently, and then crimping. So the outside of the loop, pushing it inward, and then crimping. And moving down on the fourth flower now. See, this does take time. Good things take time, right? Okay. So are you guys bored yet? Or are you continuing to watch me? This is all a learning process. I know it has been for me learning how to do this. And if you're just starting out, like this might be the first video that you're watching me do this, I'm hoping that you're not using really expensive wire to practice making flowers like this, because you can really get into a large expense if you're using expensive wire and your flowers just are not getting the way you are satisfied with them. The wire that I'm using here is a silver wire coated with permanently colored hot pink. And then the gold also is a silver wire, so it's not a cheap wire. And these flowers are starting to come together. So, I think I did mention I need 60 of these flowers, 60 strands of these flowers to create one 8-inch tree. Now for the root system and the branches for the dogwood, I use a 20 gauge black copper wire. And that is a copper wire that is permanently coated with the black enamel. And that will make the colors pop as I put that together. So, but still right now I'm just concentrating on getting many flowers made. All right, I'm almost done. And what's my time on here so far? 16 minutes. Okay, I've been talking too long. It doesn't normally take me 16 minutes to make one strand. Oh, it does take time, but 16 minutes is a little bit long. I think if I would have somebody else make these and it took them 16 minutes for each strand like this one to be created, they wouldn't be working very long. So, okay, 16 minutes. That's got to be a long one. All right, guys, here you go. This is the pink dogwood flowers. That was a long video. Are you still here even after those 16 minutes still watching this? Okay, so I'm going to ask, was that too long? Because I think I need to shorten them up. I don't think that there's that much interest for a video to be created that long. But I did show you from beginning to end how I make those pink dogwoods flowers. So guys, have an awesome night, and we'll talk soon.